My name's Rosie and I'm a digital marketing strategist for charities across the UK. So I heard about GBF through my husband, who'd seen it advertised on social media, and he sent me the link and said that he thought that I'd really enjoy it. And I'd never heard of jiu-jitsu before, never heard of Gracie Baha or anything, so it was I was really right at the beginning of my experience of that. I'd never done any martial arts before either, but I started to watch some of the videos and thought, I'd like to give this a go. So I signed up to the 10-week course. My husband bought it for me for my 30th birthday, and that was back in May. So I've been training for about 6 months now and absolutely love it. So I wanted to start jiu-jitsu because I'd just become a mum. I've got 2 little kids, and when you become a mum, often your life revolves around your children and being a mum. And as much as I love that, I felt like I was ready to have my own hobbies again and find something that was for me. And I also wanted to find something that used my body, but also my brain. And with jiu-jitsu, it is a lot about using your body, like you are exhausted at the end of the session, but you also have to use your brain and think about your positioning and your tactics and all that kind of thing. So for me, it felt like a real all-rounder for using my body, using my brain, and finding something that was going to drive me and that I felt passionate about outside of being a mum and outside of my work. So one of the things that I was nervous about starting jiu-jitsu was about the physical contact with other people and super close physical contact. I'm not one of those super huggy people or arms around each other kind of people. So the idea that you're barefoot and touching each other's feet and around each other all the time, I wasn't loving the idea of that, but turns out 6 months down the line, it's totally fine. It's not an issue for me anymore. And one of the other things that I was nervous about was not being good at it straight away. This is something that I really struggle with because I always want to be the best I can be at anything. And jiu-jitsu is one of those things that you can't be the best at it immediately because it's such a complicated sport and there's so much to it that it takes years and years and years and years to be good at it. So I was nervous about just being a bit rubbish, to be honest with you. But I've really enjoyed the process in myself of learning to be totally okay with being rubbish at this sport and having some weeks where you feel like you've not done your best, but then you can kind of think back to the sessions and take one takeaway from each session and think, okay, maybe that wasn't a great session, but I learned how to do this better, or I learned how to do this better. So that was a bit of a thing for me, was not being good at it immediately, because I want to be good at everything. So it's been a really good character training thing for me and not being good at it straight away. Since starting jiu-jitsu, I find that I'm a lot more confident in lots of situations. I feel like I know my body a lot more. And when you're rolling with people week in, week out, lots of different people, you're in quite close contact with lots of different people. And I've learned that since starting jiu-jitsu 6 months ago, I feel a lot more confident in how to even hold my body and hold myself in social situations, because you're just thrown into the mat, rolling with lots of different people week on week. So I feel a lot more confident in myself, and I've also just really enjoyed getting to know lots of different people from different walks of life. So in the academy, there are so many different people here that come from all different walks of life that I wouldn't have necessarily had the opportunity to meet in my work or in my personal life. So it's been such a joy to meet so many different people and start to build friendships with people that I wouldn't have necessarily met before. So I would recommend the GBF course to somebody else because it was such a confidence booster for me, and I just loved meeting all the women that were on the course at the same time as me. And we all came in, we were maybe a little bit nervous in the first weeks. We didn't really know what to expect. None of us had any martial arts experience before or any self-defense experience before. So when we showed up, we were maybe all a little bit nervous, a bit tentative about what it might look like. But even after, the first session, those nerves really eased and we just settled into the sessions with each other and we really started to love it. So it was such a great experience to have that shared community with each other, in that none of us had any experience of this sport before. And we're all learning together, we're all having fun together. We did giggle a lot, we got it wrong a lot, but we had a lot of fun along the way. So yeah, I'd recommend it to anyone else.